What's up, guys? Up there here, back with another VOD review. It's another dish soap VOD, but this is actually something pretty special. So if you're not in tune with all of the goings on of the pro TFT community, you might not know that I think it was yesterday that Toast, or Disguised Toast as he used to be known, I guess, announced the signings of all of the TFT players on his TFT squad. It's 10 players in total, and we have 8 of them in a game right now. The other 2 are himself, which is kind of weird that you can sign yourself to your own org, but I mean, I guess why not? And Skara, who are, sort of like the more casual players. And then we have on the right here, you can see Kyun, that is Soju's name. Pepe Left 2 is Milk, Robin Songs. I think that's Box Ablert, I would imagine. Dish Soap, Raditz, and Setsuko, all with very interesting names. So this was sort of like an in-house of the new Disguised team, basically, and they had something on the line. They had like some amount of Twitch subs on the line or something like that. So a little bit of a monetary incentive there. We've been sort of just blitzing through the early game while I say all this stuff. I do think it's actually interesting to go back and look at this 2-1 augment choice here, because there's a lot of stuff. I mean, you tend not to like. I don't love an early bulk here without any kind of like good reason to take it, and I'm surprised about his priority on buried treasures, but I do feel like I do feel like this augment is quite solid. Item grab bag, I mean, you'd always take buried treasures over item grab bag, so you can easily reroll that. And then you have like blistering strikes an option. Sorry, I got invited to a game on PB. Blistering strikes is an option. You'd already have the chain vest. You're probably going to get to some kind of healing reduction with Sunfire with buried treasures. Also pumping up, I don't know. I tried playing earlier today, and I mean, I don't know how to evaluate it, honestly. What's really interesting to me about this early game is Disrupt did something that I have not been doing much at all, which is taking this early Evelyn, this crowd diver Evelyn. I guess it sort of makes sense when you think about it. Now the question is, what do we slam here? Crown Guard's a great slam, and then just Static Shiv as well. I could certainly see it. He's not gonna slam the Static Shiv, but he is gonna slam the Crown Guard. Interesting. Maybe seeing if he can get some kind of better bow item. There is like the Gwinsu, like we've talked about before, or maybe, like a better tier item we can make, like Shojin or something. So I guess we can wait to suit our. Oh my god, that's a Seraphine too. Now it feels a little bit bad that we can't like make the Static Shiv on our Seraphine though. I do feel like Static Shiv is the slam here. Curious to see if Dishope decides to make it, or if he wants to read these components. Because Static Shiv, I mean, it's the only slam here, right? You're not going LW. I guess you could go Hodge, but I don't. Oh, he is gonna go Hodge. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's a great Evelyn item. It just sort of delays your ability to make Shiv, which I feel like is a really high value item on this board. But yeah, he's gonna go for the Hodge, which, I mean, very solid item here. He's fighting level 5 Setsuko, and I think he's winning. All right, this is certainly a Hodge diff. I feel like Static Shiv definitely would have won this fight. So, of course, as always, a great call by Dish Soap, making the best item here and getting rewarded with winning the fight. I mean, really, really well done. And then I'm curious what this bow will become. He's got the Hodge and the Crown Guard slam so far. Those are relatively flex. I mean, they're incredibly flex items. Crown Guard can be a frontline item on anyone, though units that have strong AP scalings and who like really care about their cast, like Blitzcrank's a really good Crown Guard holder. My idea of like a not great Crown Guard holder, someone like a Lowy, who her spell just allows her to do a little bit more damage for her AP scaling. Assume we're just gonna make 10 here. Yeah, he's holding on to this Evelyn pair for like maybe a potential Highroll Evelyn 3. Which, I don't think is bad. I think makes a decent amount of sense, though I assume he's not going to go out of his way to find it. Yeah, curious what he takes here. If he wants to go for like a Static Shiv, he can go for like a Titans. He does end up taking the tier here. I have to imagine if it would swing a fight, he would go for like his Static Shiv, and oh, he just slams it immediately. Which is interesting, because he doesn't need to actually slam that to make gold. And then he just fields the second Evelyn here. I mean, it's a 3 KDA crowd diver. It's certainly his strongest level 5. I mean, what else can you even add here? It's, just 8-bit, and like, you don't want to add 8-bit here. So smart stuff to hold onto the Evelyn so that he can play it on level 5, because it's actually really, really useful on 5. And this is such an interesting Evelyn build. He ended up he ended up getting to the Static Shiv, but I think going through the Hodge, especially when you're playing an Evelyn here with the Crown Guard, like she's going to get dropped low, get a bunch of AP, and then use the Hodge, like makes actually almost too much sense. Get a Nico here, who tends to be just a really, really solid unit on this board. This is like, once again, this type of board that I was talking about. Man, the more I watch Dish Soap, the more I sort of understand his I saw that Radiant item, and for some reason it short-circuited my brain, and I thought that person had an R3. But yeah, the more I start to understand his sort of like early unit priority and the lines that he really, really cares about, which I think like it's this KDA into potential superfan line. I think he likes a lot. You can also go what's the guys called who does true damage? It's called true damage units. Yeah, I think true damage into like similar line is also really strong. At least we've seen from his own gameplay. 8 Evelyns now. He's level 5. Do you roll here at 3-1? I have to assume yes, because oh my god. Yeah, you just wait here to pick up these orbs because you don't want to have the stuff like the orbs potentially just give you gold. And it's just gonna combine it to Nico too here. Oh my, he doesn't even have to roll. I mean, that's insane value there. All right, so we're gonna have a very good early game. I did not look ahead and see this, but I mean, this is certainly gonna be a fun game, I will say for sure. And the people in my Twitch chat, or not Twitch chat, but my YouTube chat, who yap about, well, this game was just Highroll. I mean, you're kind of right. This game is definitely Highroll. It's definitely still a lot to be learned from it, but I mean, this is certainly Highroll. But it'll be fun to see. It's really, really cool to see how a... I mean, you just take that, right? You already have a Crown Guard built. Do it for the fans. Your headliner heals super fans for 22%. I mean, it's an interesting augment. Your headliner is going to be doing a lot of damage here. I'd probably still understand the Crown Guard. We already have one Crown Guard made. Like, I feel like the value on it's insane. You just double... You put on Eve or Nico. He decides Eve. What are we doing with the rest of these items? The problem is you can't build Gunblade happily, but then, like, what are you doing with these swords? Shojin? Yeah. I think in this context, because, like, you could put the Crown Guard on Nico, but then you kind of are almost forced to make Gunblade in this spot because you don't want to rock, like, it doesn't make sense to rock a 2-item Evelyn in this position. He decides that, like, Gunblade doesn't really make sense here because you don't want triple healing item. You'd prefer something that actually helps you do a little bit of damage, which I think is the right call at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, pretty cool board here. He is, like I talked about, sort of playing into the superfan idea, but this super early Evelyn 3. I mean, say what you will about the potential high roll. Like, I was talking about, I wasn't holding that high priority on holding these Evelyns. He opened himself with the up to the ability to high roll by holding onto those Evelyns. I think a lot of players would have potentially sold those Evelyns saying, like, okay, well, I'm not going to go for Evelyn 3, but, you know, he hits it, and it's also a very uncontested unit, right? Like, just this comp really cares about Evelyn. All these other people holding 1 costs aren't going to be holding Evelyns. All right, I assume we want to go for Shojin here. If we can't get Shojin, I don't know, maybe a GS. Really would like this tier here, I would imagine. We'll see what he ends up grabbing here. But yeah, oh yeah, he really wanted the tier. He has to take a cloak now. The question becomes, do you just say, like, okay, fine, I'll make a BT? It's a solid Akali item. He's going to roll here on 7 for some upgrades. Not below, oh no, below 30. He's definitely dipping below 30 here just to find something to play. A Spellweaver is really nice on this board here with the Echo. He can get the Garen out. Echo is, like we've seen so many times, I feel like Bishop loves this early game board. I wonder if this early game board is going to get nerfed, because if not, I think, like, I'm almost every game I'm watching Dish Soap, he's playing around this early game board with the superfan units, and it just fits so well together, right? You get Echo in, and it activates Sentinel, and activates True Damage, and in this spot it's activating Spellweaver, like Echo being a triple trait monster, and then, like, Kennen also being Guardian, Superfan, and True Damage, like also Kennen being triple trait. Like, the board just, like, clicks together so beautifully. I wonder if this was, like, a really tough fight if he would slam BT, because, like, BT is a, like, I was gonna say, BT's, like, probably a middling item on Akali. I haven't really tried it on Akali yet, and I haven't played around Akali too much for myself, but I have to imagine that it's, like, an okay item on Akali. Interested to see what he does here at 4-1, because he has a lot of solid pairs. Like, if you hit nothing here, do you roll at more on 7? I have to assume you don't, but, like, with how much he rolled at 3-5, I wouldn't lose my mind. I wouldn't be completely shocked if he did. He pulls off the superfans out of the board for a turn. I'm not exactly sure why. Because he just does this again. I mean, I have to imagine this is Shojin Crown Guard, and then the last item is nothing for now. Not QSS, I would think. I mean, he's looking at potentially an IE maybe. I think he judges here that his board's strong enough that he doesn't have to slam anything, so we can wait one round and see, which I think makes sense. Imagine if you get like Pandora's items and you can just go like 50,000 crown guards. Oh, something to note about this augment. Or no, actually, I'm a liar. I won't tell you anything. Sorry. Crash Test Dummy's really solid augment. Know your enemy's also like not terrible, but yeah, he's just gonna go with the Crash Test here. I like it a lot. And he's rolling at this point for what? His board actually fits together so well. You're just rolling for the 5th KDA unit, rolling for like a Kali, and then you can think about making potentially like IE on a Kali. I think that makes a lot of sense, but he can't find it. He just found another Katarina. Which I mean, like, okay, Katarina too. Also, oh, this is so sick. You can put the Crash Test Dummy on the KDA hex. It's just gonna leap to the front line anyway. And yeah, I think he's gonna start building Akali items on this Katarina and just use her as a transition unit. I think that makes so much sense. So no Shojin here. He's just gonna go for like a Evelyn Akali duo carry. The thing about this setup is that he only needs to create an okay board for now, and then he can just go fast 9. So if he finds that one Akali, like, I would be surprised if he keeps rolling here. Yeah, you don't keep rolling here because you're 100 streaking. You're incredibly rich. You just chill for a couple of rounds. Well, it's gonna be more than a couple, but like 4 or 5, probably like the next 6 rounds, not including minion rounds. And then after stage 5 carousel, you probably go 9, and then play around that. At that point, you are likely selling this Evelyn, so that you can get a 2-star 5 cost chosen. 3 stars, 1 costs in this set, I think especially when they're your chosen, are just sort of a mechanism to get you to fast 9, but you don't want to play around this 1-star 3 cost at the end of the game because a 2-star 5 cost, especially chosen, is just going to be stronger. He has this tier open. I wonder what that is. I just love Shojin. Like maybe he's looking for just something else that would round out. Yeah, I mean, the problem is like Shojin's not an Akali item, right? So like, what are you doing with this Shojin? You're just gonna have like a 2-item Akali. I have to assume we get 5 KDA in here. He's thinking about the 4 Crowd Diver. Ooh, this is something that I think, and all these players were like talking on a voice call. Well, some of them were. Dish Up actually wasn't, but a lot of the other players were talking on a voice call. And I think Milk played a vertical Crowd Diver game, which honestly, now that I think about it, maybe I can go back and VOD review that game if he streamed. I don't remember if he did stream, but it was vertical Crowd Diver Katarina reroll. He played 6 Crowd Diver, and they were talking about how broken 6 Crowd Diver is. So interesting to see, you know, the priority on something like vertical Crowd Diver. For Crowd Diver here, he's going to play it over 5 KDA, which, I mean, in a situation like this where Evelyn's your main carry, I could certainly see it being strongest. I don't think I've ever actually played 4 Crowd Diver because I don't play around these units at all, so I don't even know what the scaling from 2 to 4 is. Ooh, that's really interesting. He's locking this Ezreal here? Is that actually the play? He's locking the Ezreal to potentially pivot into Ezreal as his carry next round over this Evelyn. I have to imagine that, yep, that's what he's doing. He's going to pivot into the Ezreal here, and then he's going to move the IE onto it. He was holding this Misfortune potentially for the big shot, but he was always kind of thinking about this pivot ever since holding the MF, which I don't actually remember what shop that was in. But so the Ezreal items are going to be IE. I have to imagine IE Shojin is how you finish these items out. Another Ezreal, interesting, and he thinks like this is going to be his best bet as far as making it to 9 here, and he's going to play the double Ezreal. Yeah, IE Shojin, the Death Blade from the augment. And then I assume some kind of tank item. 3rd crown card just goes on Nico. And yeah, he just goes for, oh, Evan Shroud, perfect. Yeah, to get Shred. I mean, I like it a lot. Holy, I mean, wow, what an interesting pivot that he decides there that Ezreal's actually gonna be a stronger item carry. I mean, 2-star 4 cost versus 3-star 1 cost. I mean, if you just look at the gold value of the units, the 2-star 4 cost should be slightly stronger, right? It's a 12 gold unit versus a 9 gold unit. That doesn't work perfectly, but it probably, when it's, you know, that much more gold, it probably is correct that, you know, this is better. Wow, what a cool play as well. Just the fast 9, like really fast 9 to play 4 big shot. He knows this is going to spike his board really hard, and it allows him to itemize this Jhin with some kind of awkward Jhin items. You definitely want these items off of Jhin later game. You probably want them onto like a Yorick or a Kiana, or something like that. But he's uncomfortable with the fact that he didn't have anywhere to put the items. So he just puts them on Jhin. He still gets to make 10 this round. He gets to be level 9. Really cool stuff. I wonder when his next shop is going to be. Look, all I can say is like the early game of this game was certainly Highroll, but how many of you guys tell me would have locked for that Ezreal in the shop? And I mean, it was absolutely the correct choice, right? He moved from the 3-star 1 cost over the 2-star 4 cost, and it's actually stronger and pivoted into this 4 big shot board, which is so cool. This is the kind of stuff where, like, I mean, I harp on it so much just because I think a lot of people will, especially YouTube commenters, which, I mean, no flame, the nice YouTube commenters, I absolutely love you. You guys are great. But there are a lot of people who will downplay the skill it takes to pilot a game like this. Like those decisions, those like small decisions that you just kind of write off if you want to troll, and are like, oh, yeah, like, yeah, sure, maybe I would have done that. I mean, are just so huge in a spot like this. He takes the pentakill spot. I like it a lot, actually. For potentially 3 penta later, you can play like Gnar plus Yorick. I don't know what else you'd play. I'm thinking Gnar plus Yorick. You get, like the package of 3 penta plus Masher in with that. But we'll see what else he ends up doing. Maybe he has some idea of playing around like Yorick cards. I mean, one of them must be Yorick, right? There's no way it's not going to be Yorick. The question is what the other one is. Maybe Karthus. Like you have this Shojin. But like you don't really, Karthus really just wants big chunky ults that do a bunch of damage. We are going to lose this fight down to 44, still relatively healthy because we just 100 streak. Yeah, first place in HP, and I have to assume we are going to sack one more, then open sell the Ezreal, and then look to full pivot our board again. Oh, the set is so cool and so skill expresses. He's going to hold on to the Viego as potentially the second pentakill unit. I would look for Gnar in my team builder here, but maybe he has another idea of playing around this like Viego unit. Maybe Viego plus Kayn plus 1 more slashy units. I don't know. I'd be surprised, but maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, a sort of soft landing here to the low HP zone. Oh, we are about to see a pivot, and he doesn't sell the chosen Ezreal here, which I think is really interesting. He wants to pivot around the Ezreal, it looks like. He wants to keep the Ezreal in. He doesn't care for a 2-star 5 cost in this spot. He's just going to pivot around the Ezreal, keep the Ezreal in as his carry here. He's not really... He thinks like the 4 big shot is like strong enough to pivot around. And yeah, he's just going to roll at 9, finds Jin 2. Okay, now that he has Jin 2... Wow. Now that he has Jin 2, the Ezreal comes out. He finds a Thresh that he can put in. Like what is this? I can't. How do you even compete with this? Like, what a cool... I'm like literally actively learning how to play this set in real time. So he keeps the Ezreal in until the moment that he has Jin 2, and then he says, okay, I have a better carry that I can play around. I have this Jin 2. So, okay, I don't need the Ezreal chosen anymore. I'm going to now sell that and then look for a frontline chosen because now he has a 2-star backline. If it had gone the other way around and he had found like a 2-star Alawi or something like that, then he would have kept the Ezreal, right? Until he has like a better carry. Ooh, 2 Sonas, but he can't actually fit them in. And so this is the board that we end up on, by the way, just to slow it down a little bit to actually look at what's going on here. So it's this board. We're playing the package of MF, Lucian, Jin, and then the Bard to get in 3 Jazz. You play the Ziggs is just your really, really strong Dazzler unit. And then his frontline is really just what he's hit. He's hit this Thresh here. He has the Yorick in for Guardian. It kind of sucks that he's chosen his country, but Guardian wouldn't do too much either. And then he's still holding on to sort of this random Echo. Has no synergies in, right? And then he's getting Pentakill in with the Viego. I assume this Echo would come out the second we find like an Alawi or something like that. But we just don't have it, so can't really... I don't think there's much... maybe this Poppy, maybe you could think about getting the Poppy in. The problem is then you have to move these items over to a much less tanky unit. Like, are you going to move these items really over to Yorick 1? Like, Yorick 1, way less tanky. 10k damage from the Jin, by the way. Really, really cool. It does give you an entire... Oh, and that's perfect. That's exactly what we need in a spot like this. Chosen Alawi. So insane for the late game. Also, I guess I gotta eat my words. Oh, and he... yeah, I think this makes perfect sense as well. He, especially at 14 HP. And okay, this is... Okay, I thought I was so smart for doing this in one of my games earlier today. I came up with this independent of Dish Soap. I just want to say, sometimes 2 people come with something independent. But in a lot of these late game matchups, the back corner, Alawi Tentacles do a ton of work. He knows he's fighting this Lux 3 player that's going to bait the Lux lasers. They might even tank with Alawi to multiple Lux lasers, which is what happened in my game when I played against Lux. It's less important versus like something like I mean, this Lux 3 is kind of juiced though, so maybe, yeah, they don't survive, but like, look look at how they bait the Lux ult. The only reason this fight was kind of close is because his team actually walked up into the Lux ult, but you have to do that. For Jazz here, chef's kiss. With this amount of traits in, he just hit an insane spike. He's got 7 traits in, it looks like. So, I mean, for Jazz with 7 traits, obviously very good. And so, yeah, this is just going to slam on, on like Thresh or something like that. You're getting a ton of extra stats. Soji is our opponent here, who is Country Reroll, which is a very strong comp, but like most 3-cost reroll, if we hit this kind of late game board with a bunch of 2-star 5-costs, I believe we're just going to outcap them. We will see how Soji's board does versus Dish Soaps, but I have to imagine, I mean, it's not very close. We're going to get one more fight, but I have to imagine that's it. Like, I don't know how Soju can spike his board any harder. And, Thresh 2, not bad. And so he knows this is the last fight, so we'll make Thresh 2. But, I'm disgusted by how cool this pivot was, honestly, and, like, how well Dish will play this game. Like I said, obviously a high roll early game, but this was a masterclass on how to play the late game in this set. This is where the skill expression in this set is going to be, and, like, I'm upset watching this because I know I will have to play in solo queue lobbies against this Soap, and he's going to be doing this. I have to figure out how to do this, and I mean, that's why I'm doing these VOD reviews, but holy, what a game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, and all my other links down below. Thank you.